Here's a question. Is it time to take the blue lights away? Save, let's say, for the president or a few key ministers, or at least after a security assessment, but otherwise no official or high-ranking politician gets them as standard issue. It comes in the wake of the killing of an Air Force sergeant, one Michael Swanton. He and his wife, Stephanie, were traveling on the Mabopane Highway not far from Pretoria when they say they were forced off the road by an unmarked vehicle. Out of it emerged two armed men who claimed they were the local mayor's protection officers, concerned about the couple's vehicle, a Ford Figo that had license plates missing. The couple say they explained that their car had just returned from panel beaters, and that's why it seemed to be suspicious. It seemed to satisfy the men who returned to their own car. But a concerned Michael Swanton reportedly approached the BMW to check the occupant's identification and whether they had legal or lawful authority to stop and check them. It was at that moment that he was reportedly shot in the head and killed on the roadside. The two suspects are, as I say, reportedly the bodyguard and driver of the Madibeng mayor, Douglas Maimane, who was reportedly in the car with them. They will be appearing for bail later this morning, and their reason for shooting Michael Swanton is they say they thought he was about to hijack them. The chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Policing in Parliament is Ian Cameron, who joins us now on the line. Ian, no doubt you know some of the details of the story as I've just outlined it. And even as I say it now, it's a really shocking one, isn't it?
Good morning, Bongani. It really is, and it's something that's been happening with impunity for quite some years. There are a few things that we need to briefly unpack. Yesterday, I tried to get as much information as possible. Now, first of all, neither of these two gentlemen currently work for any form of private security, but neither of them are also registered at the Madibeng municipality, for whom they claim to work as law enforcement officers. So it's not clear in what capacity they were even carrying firearms. And I think to add insult to injury, it seems that the firearms are registered to the municipality. So one must ask, what control is there really at Madibeng with law enforcement or traffic firearms? Are they actually peace officers as they are meant to be in order to even use a blue light? What mandate did they have to supposedly pull over Michael and his wife? And so the list goes on.
You're saying this is, I'm reminded of the Deputy President's Personal Protection Services and that incident. We're seeing this type of incident increasingly, as you say. Should we take the blue lights away?
So let me just refer to the Deputy President's case first. I'm soon to be probably reprimanded in the National Assembly because I called them a political Gestapo, and I called them thugs, and I stand by what I said. And I think the public would agree with me that that's exactly what they are in the way that they acted. And so too, these two men. In fact, I would go as far as saying that the Madibeng mayor should be arrested and charged for being accessory to the crimes committed in Michael's
Are you suggesting, Ian, sorry to cut you there, are you suggesting that the principals bear some responsibility too when this kind of thing happens?
Well, they bear responsibility if they are present and then they leave the scene and they play no role in reporting it. And if they played any role in delaying the reporting, so in this case, in Michael's case, they first took the mayor home, then they changed vehicles before they drove to a police station to hand themselves over. So many things could have happened in that space, and obviously they claim that he was in the vehicle. So he witnessed this entire thing happening, and there's no indication that Michael was armed when he asked them for their appointment certificates, which is a understandable question. It's a justified question that members of the public are allowed to ask law enforcement officers.
Do you buy that these suspects claim they shot in fear of their lives because they believed they were being hijacked?
I find it strange in terms of the sequence of events. I mean, they pulled him over, him and his wife. Why would someone with it's similar to the Deputy President's case, in that case it was a Polo, but why would a little Ford Figo try and hijack what could potentially be an armored BMW X3? or in some cases an X5. It just doesn't make sense. And if one man then walks to them after they had already interacted with that person, why would he then try and hijack them without even a firearm? There are just so many. You and I can sketch different scenarios all day. The explanation that they've given just doesn't make sense, and it seems like some of these so-called bodyguards act as a political iron fist of some kind. And to answer your question whether they should be allowed or not, I think it shouldn't just have a blanket approach. I mean, any principle, whether it's local, provincial, or national government, first a threat and risk assessment needs to determine whether there is any threat or legitimate risk, and according to that, the necessary measurements need to be put in place. But just simply giving it for a status symbol or as a glorified Uber driver is just not acceptable.
I think most members of the public would agree that the vast majority of officials and politicians who get VIP protection probably don't even need it. Ian Cameron is the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Policing.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions,
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.